Hello there, flock members. Bad Raven here today. We're going to do a review of the Justice League. This 2017 movie was directed by Zack Snyder and heavily influenced by the second director, Joss Whedon. Zack Snyder's down as the director of the movie, though, but I can see a lot of the telltale signs of Joss Whedon on this movie, and I think it was the parts that was good. I've been hearing a lot of reviews of this movie, and I thought to myself when it was getting ready to come out, I'm not a big DC fan as much as a Marvel one, and I was hoping for hit out of the park because I really liked Wonder Woman, kind of like Suicide Squad. The Man of Steel stuff, I didn't like the way they went with the Superman character. They was too gloom and doom with that. But in this one, it was different. I don't understand all the negative press this is getting and act like it's the most horrible movie ever made. I don't see that. I really went in with, maybe because I went in with a clean slate with them and wasn't expecting to be blown away, which I wasn't exactly blown away. I was just pleasantly surprised with the movie itself. I heard negative, and I guess I wasn't expecting much, so it kind of helped me. I guess people go in with a big high bar and do not come out with the same feeling as I did. But I'll give you some of the. I'm gonna try to make this spoiler free, so you can actually go watch the movie after you've seen this review. But I'll try to highlight what I liked about the movie. Now, first, let's go into who's all in it. You got the recurring stars, which are Ben Affleck, and he plays Batman / Bruce Wayne, and he's relatively good. I was afraid they was going to make him a Tony Stark type character because some of the earlier trailers I saw of him, he was making little one-liners, like you talk to fish to Aquaman, and just a little humor that just didn't seem right for him. But they didn't do that a lot in the movie. There was some parts, but it wasn't overly done. So I'm glad they didn't go crazy. Henry Cavill, I can't pronounce his last name, I'm sorry. Plays Superman, Clark Kent. And I have to say, and I don't know how anybody on the internet can say that they didn't nail Superman in this one, but they nailed Superman. What Superman stood for: truth, justice, and American way. He may not have said truth and American way, but he did say justice in the movie. His uniform was sparkling red and blue. He had a smile on his face for the first time I've ever seen him in the movies, even with his own movies. This Man of Steel. He actually looked like he was enjoying himself, being the powerful person he is, and I'm so glad they actually let him be Superman. I mean, Superman has great power, and it really showed in this movie how powerful he really is. Me and my nephew Nathan were talking about it, and he said, it almost didn't need the rest of them because the way he fought. And I said that was good. That was good in a way. I mean, they all had a little part in helping defeat the bad guy in this movie, but he was the main powerful person, and I really thought they did that right. Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman, Diana Prince. What can I say about her? She was perfect, just like in Wonder Woman. She did her part with she stood toe-to-toe with Superman and the rest of them, and she got her licks in. So, she's not afraid of anybody, and I liked the scene that she was in, and even the emotional scenes. There were more emotional scenes in this than I thought that they were going to be. Because, see, you're introducing, Wonder Woman already, Batman. So you didn't have to really introduce those two, Superman. You didn't even have to introduce him, really. So the other ones, the Aquaman, the Cyborg, and the Flash were the new ones that come in. So to see her be able to delve into her character more from the Wonder Woman series was really good. I really thought they did a good job with that, with the past, with the Chris Pine character from the Wonder Woman, using that in this movie. And I thought it was really a smart movie. People said it jumped all over the place, and it had to because of the story. You got to have a bad guy coming in, you got to have him rounding up his troops, and then you have Batman rounding up the people to be in the Justice League. So you can't be just like one setting the whole time unless you want a 10-hour movie. Then they probably could have done it. They probably have 10 hours of footage. Because basically, I think they reshot a lot of that after Zack Snyder stepped away for a little while. But getting back to Gal Gadot, she is a wonderful actress, a beautiful woman, and I'm not thinking I'm being sexist by saying that. She is a very attractive woman, and plus a great actress too. And I think that she held her own with all these men in these superhero type movies. All right, you got Ezra Miller as the Flash, Barry Allen, and this was the one character that I was very worried about. For the trailers I've seen with him, with his humor, didn't strike me all that funny. And I thought, well, what are they trying to do with him? I know they look like they're trying to lighten the mood, which was good, and they needed the mood lightened in some parts. But I was just afraid of how they were going to do with him. I was afraid he would be a nonstop joke machine and not have any emotions whatsoever besides funny stuff. But with what they introduced with him and his dad was one of the first scenes that really liked in the movie, because you actually had emotion from his father and him, and you felt for the character. You felt like you wanted something good for him to happen. So I liked it, and he did a good job with Flash. I don't watch the Flash TV show, and I'm not much of the comics, so I don't know anything about his backstory. And they didn't really get into his backstory because he didn't have enough time, which was only negative I could see with that. With all the characters they introduced, besides the original three, they didn't have time really to introduce. Like with Marvel, you would have had a movie separate from this, and then they would all come together. But in this world, you couldn't. But with what time they had, I think they did a decent job. Maybe not the greatest job, but a decent job. So we'll go on to Jason Momoa. I'm sorry, I just butchered his name. I'm sorry there. He's played Aquaman and Arthur Curry. This one was kind of weak. I liked his look. I liked his on-screen presence. But other than that, his backstory was even less than anybody else's. I didn't feel any kind of emotions toward him. I thought he was a good fighter, and the actor did the best he could with. Probably was more left on the editing room floor, but I didn't hate him or nothing. It's just like I didn't know much about him to get emotional for him. Like I said, he was a good fighter, but all I can say with that. You got Ray Fisher as Cyborg / Victor Stone. He's another casualty of the length of the movie and not being able to really get into his character. But I did think he was a very cool character of being the robot and helping them, and him kind of like learning his powers as he went. And his backstory was probably more elaborate than most of the other ones, even though it was very short and simple and sweet. But you could see where they needed him in the movie and how he came to be able to rise up and be the character he was. So I kind of liked him. I liked him better than Aquaman because, like I said, it wasn't Aquaman's fault, but he just felt like he was a more understood character, I guess, from what they showed us. You got Jeremy Irons as Alfred, of course, and he does that fine. And you got your usual suspects on the other ones. I won't go into all of them, but that's the basic ones in the movie. But let me just explain the way I feel about this movie. I think it was a good movie. What people are saying about it on the internet, that it's worse than the Fantastic Four, I've always been a true believer in your opinion's your opinion, and you have a right to it. But with somebody saying a statement like that, the Fantastic Four was better, I don't know how you can come even close with that statement. From my standpoint, from my opinion, this is leaps and bounds over the Fantastic Four. Yes, it may have been fast. It may have been a little incoherent in parts because they had to do so much with this movie. Like I said, you're introducing a whole slew of characters. A bad guy that you've not seen before, which I'm glad it wasn't Lex Luthor. I don't think they used some other type of villain in the DC universe besides him, especially with Superman involved. But that being said, to down this movie and to the level of a Fantastic Four, one of their remakes, is not anywhere, shape, or form what I saw in the movie. And like I said, I wasn't looking for a smash hit, and it wasn't a smash hit, but it was a very well done movie. People knocks the CGI. Every movie I've seen, the CGI plays a prominent part in the movie. Yeah, the villain was complete CGI. Would have been better, like maybe Thor with the woman character, the Helen character, and that be like a real flesh and blood character. Yes, it probably would have helped. But I don't think it hindered it because you didn't really get to know him either because of the time of the movie. And that was all because of DC not introducing the characters one by one in their own standalone movies. So you have to get with what you got here. You have to deal with that. Later on, they may be fleshed out and make it a lot better. But as a team, as all of them together, I could see them as really, really on par with the Avengers. Now, people will go crazy on the internet that, he's comparing them to the Avengers. No, I'm not comparing them to the Avengers. I said they're on par with them. They can compete with that. And now that the characters are being fleshed out, I think they can do enough cool stuff to be as good as the Avengers over time. Maybe the next Justice League movie, if it comes to the next Justice, I think they should make one. Maybe not a $250 million one. Maybe they can lower it down a little bit so they make it more feasible. But I think they could be as good as the Avengers over time. So you're asking a lot of one movie to be able to do. And either way you went, you were going to make some people mad. I would have been upset if it was the same dark old Christopher Nolan type landscape, and there was some darkness in it, but there was a lot of brightness. There was a lot of humor. There was a lot of heart. There was a lot of getting your characters back to where they should have been in the first place. And I think that's where the Joss Whedon stuff came in. That would have not been in there. You're talking about Batman vs. Superman 2 here if that would have been Zack Snyder's vision. And I have no doubt of that. But like I said, I love what they did with Superman. Superman was my favorite character because, and I'm not giving anything away, you know he's going to be in this movie. I won't tell how they bring him back. But what parts that he was in toward the latter part, he's not going to be in the whole movie, people. He's in the latter part. He knocked it out of the park. That part made my smile on my face. I mean, I told my son, Andrew, that I really, really loved the way they did him in this movie. And he is right where he should be. They should keep him that way. Maybe there was some little CGI problems with his mouth because I believe they had to do reshoots and he was doing a movie where he had a mustache and he couldn't shave it off for the movie. And they digitally took it out. And if I hadn't known that, I probably wouldn't even been looking. But, people are making such a big deal of that. But you got to understand here, it's a good movie. It's nothing wrong with this movie. I don't understand the hate for this movie. I didn't like the new Spider-Man. And I don't mean I hated the new Spider-Man, but I like this one as good or maybe a little bit better as the Spider-Man movie that came out. And I didn't hate the Spider-Man movie. I just didn't think it was anything special. And this one, I liked it. It may not have been anything special, but it was in the right direction, and it had some really neat, cool stuff in it that they have to build on as a building block. So that's what I'm trying to say. give it a chance. Don't go in expecting the moon, but just listen to the story. I thought the story was well done. I thought the acting was well done. I think I'm looking forward to the next one. I wasn't even looking forward to any of the Justice League movies till this movie. So that's my review of this. I know it was kind of fast, but I just kind of wanted to give you what I thought about it, why people are down in it, and you may not go see it. Give it a chance. I think you would like it. I think a lot of my fans would like it. You know, everybody's different. There may be some that stick with what everybody else says, but I mean, I enjoyed it thoroughly, and I think you will too. But I'd like to thank you for watching, and then if you tell me your views of it, if you went and watched it this weekend, this is the first weekend it's been out. I went and watched it on Friday, the very first day. Tell me what you thought of it. Am I totally wrong? What did you see in it, or why didn't you like it, or why did you like it? I would greatly appreciate that, any kind of input you give on that. And remember the Patreon account, become an EBB member. But you don't know what that is, it's the Elite Bad Birds for $1 a month, and you get your name posted in all my videos at the very end. I would really appreciate it. You don't have to, but you can if you want to. And I like to say, always remember that the Bad Raven is your friend, and we're just trying to keep these videos out for you so you'll have something to go on when you go watch the movies. So we'd like to thank you for watching, and we'll let you go, and goodbye.